He laughed as he pressed his shoe against a black passenger's chest while his friends recorded and cheered. But what they thought was a joke turned into the video that ruined him. Within hours, the world saw his cruelty, and the boy who refused to move instantly regretted it. Before we dive in, tell us where you're watching from and how old are you? If you believe respect must be defended, press like and subscribe now to keep stories like this alive. The train jolted as it pulled away from the station, but the noise inside wasn't the sound of metal on rails. It was the laughter of a group of young passengers who thought they owned the place. Phones were out, cameras ready. Every moment turned into entertainment. In the middle of it all, a white boy in a light blue hoodie lounged across two seats. One leg stretched wide, blocking the aisle. His head leaned back against the window, his grin smug as if daring anyone to challenge him. His friends egged him on, their voices loud, careless, ugly. That was when the black man in the gray t-shirt stepped forward. He was in his late 20s, built strong, but carrying himself with calm restraint. He stopped by the boy's seat, looked down at the sprawled leg blocking his way, and spoke evenly. "Excuse me, that's my seat." The boy didn't move. He smirked, looked at his friends, then back at the man standing in front of him. "Your seat? Really? I don't see your name on it." The group laughed. A girl pulled out her phone, pointing the camera toward the scene like it was comedy night. The black man's voice stayed level. "I paid for that spot. Move your leg." The boy leaned back further, deliberately, pushing his sneaker out even more into the aisle. He folded his arms behind his head, his voice loud enough for the whole carriage. "Why don't you go find another seat? There's plenty around. This one's taken." "Taken?" the man asked, his jaw tightening. "Yeah," the boy shot back, his smirk widening. "By someone who belongs here." His eyes flicked up and down the man's skin, his tone sharp with disrespect. "Not you." The laughter rose, sharper this time. Phones tilted closer, capturing every second. A chant began from the back. "Don't move. Don't move." The black man inhaled slowly, gripping the rail beside him. He had been looked down on before, ignored, treated as if he didn't belong. He had promised himself he wouldn't let it drag him down anymore. But standing there in front of dozens of staring eyes, being mocked like a nuisance on a train seat he rightfully paid for. It burned. "Move your leg," he repeated, his voice firmer now. The boy leaned forward suddenly, his face inches away. "Or what you going to make me? This is my country, my train, my seat. Guys like you should stand anyway. That's what you're used to, right?" The words hit like stones. The black man clenched his fists at his sides, forcing himself not to react violently. His silence only fueled the boy's arrogance. "See? Nothing to say." The boy sneered. "That's the problem with people like you. Always wanting something, never earning it." The group roared. One boy slapped the hoodie wearer on the back while another zoomed in with his phone. "Get his face, bro, look how serious he is." The black man locked his jaw, his eyes, though calm, carried a storm. "I earned that seat. Move." The hoodie boy leaned back again, deliberately swinging his leg so the sole of his shoe pressed against the man's chest. The train car gasped. Some laughed louder, some looked away, ashamed. "You don't tell me what to do," the boy said, his voice dripping with mockery. "I tell you, and you stand there while I sit here. That's how it works." The man's chest rose and fell sharply, his body rigid under the humiliation. He glanced at the crowd. Some entertained, some horrified, but none intervening. For them, it was easier to watch than to act. "This isn't funny," the man said quietly, his tone breaking through the noise. "You think this is a joke, but you're showing the world who you are." The boy snorted. "The world? Please, nobody cares. You're just another." Before he could finish, the conductor's shadow appeared at the end of the aisle. The carriage quieted slightly, though the phone stayed up, lenses pointed, recording every second. The black man didn't move, didn't back down. He stood there humiliated, pressed under the sole of a boy's shoe, mocked by strangers. His dignity was bruised, but his resolve was sharpening. The hoodie boy smirked one last time. "Better get used to standing, man. You'll be there a while." The train rattled on. The silence after his words wasn't laughter anymore. It was tension, thick, unspoken, suffocating. The conductor stepped closer, his hat tilted low, his face grim. "What's going on here?" he asked sharply. The boy's friends went quiet for the first time. The one with the phone stammered. It's nothing. Just a joke." The black man stood tall, his jaw clenched. "He refuses to move." "That's my seat. I paid for it." The conductor's gaze dropped to the boy's stretched out leg. "Son, take your foot down." Now the boy smirked, but his laugh didn't carry as strong. Relax, man. We're just messing around. No harm. No harm. The conductor snapped, his voice echoing in the carriage. You're blocking seats, disrespecting another passenger. And you think this is funny? Somewhere in the back, a woman muttered, disgraceful. The hoodie boy shifted, but pride chained him to his arrogance. He dropped his foot at last, but not without one more jab. Fine, let him sit. Guess it's the only time he'll ever sit above me. The man lowered himself into the seat, silent, but his chest burned with the sting of those words around him. The phones were still recording, still streaming. Every insult, every smirk, every shove, the world was watching. And by the time the train reached the next stop, the video had already spread. Within hours, the clip was everywhere. A thumbnail of a laughing white boy, his foot pressing into the chest of a calm black passenger, headlined every feed. Racist on train block seat. Comments poured in by the thousands. Who is he? Shameful. That man deserves respect. The boy had thought it was a joke. Now his name, his face, his smirk. They were burned into screens across the country. People dug deeper. They found the black passenger's story. A working man returning home after a double shift, who saved money each week to afford his daily commute. A man who had never once complained, who endured stares, whispers, and subtle cruelties quietly until this day, when it all spilled into the open. The narrative flipped. Where the boy wanted him humiliated, the internet rose to defend him. Comments turned into outrage. Outrage turned into headlines. By the next morning, the boy who thought he was untouchable was facing the weight of a world that despised what they had seen. At school, whispers followed him. At work, doors closed. His friends, the ones who laughed the loudest, deleted their accounts, vanished into silence. But it was too late. The video lived on. On the train again the next week, the atmosphere was different. The black man stepped on wearing the same gray shirt, the same calm expression, but this time eyes softened as they looked at him. A stranger stood to offer him a seat before he even asked. Another nodded respectfully. The whispers weren't cruel anymore. They were apologies, unspoken but clear. And then at the far end of the carriage, he saw him, the boy in the blue hoodie. No friends this time, no phone, no smug grin. He sat hunched low, eyes darting away the moment their gazes met. The pride, the arrogance, it had all drained away, leaving only shame. The black man didn't say a word. He didn't need to. His silence was heavier than any insult could be. The boy shifted uncomfortably, shrinking in his seat, drowning under the weight of his own regret. The train rolled on, and the balance had changed. The one who was mocked walked with dignity. The one who mocked could barely lift his head. That night, as the boy scrolled through his phone, he saw the same image over and over. Himself, laughing, pressing down on another man's chest. Underneath thousands of voices. Shame. Respect is earned by character, not by mocking. He slammed his phone shut, but the echo of his actions followed him. He had thought power was in laughter and arrogance. But he learned far too late that real power was in dignity, and dignity was something he had none left of. The story of the train spread far beyond that day. For some, it was just another viral video. For others, it was a lesson, a reminder that cruelty recorded becomes cruelty remembered and dignity even humiliated. Rises higher in the end. And for the boy who refused to move, his regret wasn't instant. It was endless. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more emotional, dramatic, and unexpected tales. And let us know in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? We love hearing from all of you. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep watching.